Hey, Angelo back here again. Wanted to follow up. It's been a few since I've put an update on this site on State of Euphorbia / my YouTube channel. Thanks to Monique for dropping me an email. You also can at angelo.dieso@gmail.com. That's the address that you'll find here on my YouTube. Any questions about the experiences or anything in general about life, if I can help you. I'm not a certified counselor or anything like that, but I can also speak from experience as a person who has been living with an oligodendroglioma brain tumor for the past 3.5 years. And I can tell you that it's been a struggle. Have had some good times for the past, several months. Those times are starting to wane a little bit in general. I wouldn't say that times are not good right now, but I was on the 5 a.m. challenge where I would wake up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning without fail. Did that for 110 days beginning on January 9th. I did that all the way through past March 16th, which was the 66-day challenge, which was going pretty good. I made it all the way to April 28th, which was a couple Fridays ago. I had a friend, Maureen, from the East Coast come and visit. It was nice to see her. We got to go to the coast, which was nice. Rented a car. I did not drive a car at this time, so we rented a car and went off to the coast and experienced some times at Cape Lookout or on the Oregon coast. Also went to Pacific City and to Astoria, Oregon, which was probably the highlight of the trip. Some good weather. We've had some the real slow arrival of spring right now, which has made things difficult, but I'm hoping that'll change soon. Looks like we have some hot weather on the way. Summer will just jump into action probably without much forewarning. Fortunately, we've had some beautiful flora, and allergies have been a little bit problematic, but they're kept in check right now because things have started to settle down a little bit from all the rain. All right, today is Thursday, the 18th of May, 2017. Sad news this morning, learning about the passing of one of my favorite vocalists and musicians, Chris Cornell. You might know him from the band Soundgarden. He was like one of my favorite musicians growing up in my teens. Loved Soundgarden, loved a lot of the grunge music, and still able to appreciate some of the music that he was putting forth through the years into my adult years. Anyways, I want to talk a little bit about depression and how it's easy to slip off of where you are. I've been avoiding medications at all costs unless necessary. It appears that some of my medications that I've been taking for epilepsy daily, twice a day, 2,400 milligrams a day of the oxcarbazepine, also known as Trileptal, and 3,000 milligrams a day of the levetiracetam, also known as Keppra. I was able to reduce the amount of oxcarbazepine, aka Trileptal, by down to 2,100 milligrams a day. So I was able to cut that down just a little bit, which was good. But it's been a struggle because I supplement those when I begin to go into a seizure with benzodiazepine, lorazepam, which many of you may know as Ativan, which affects your GABA levels in your brain, has some effect on your ability to calm your mind down, to reduce seizure activity. That's been a real struggle for me, and lately, because of my travel and disrupted sleep and activity schedule, I've seen my steps go down in my daily step count through my Fitbit that I use every day. So I'm still been able to maintain above 10,000 steps every day and above 5 miles of walking per day. But at my peak, I was doing, and this was only a few weeks back, maybe less than a month back, I was doing at my peak 30,000 steps a day, which was about 12 to 15 miles a day, which was pretty good. But I spent most of my days walking. I'm 41 years old almost. I'll be turning 41 in June on the 23rd. Send your fan mail to angelo.dieso@gmail.com. Just kidding, or if you want. It's always nice to hear from people. Things in life don't always work out the way you'd hope they would, but you have to keep on persisting. I know this through talking to different people, and right now I've got a lot of my emphasis in placed upon the National Brain Tumor Society through my Team Brewpublic. I'm advocating strongly to get people just donation or just to sign up to walk with us at braintumorcommunity.org/go/brain tumor cure. And that'll take you to the page where I kind of go into detail about my brain tumor, some of the treatments that I've had done, including radiation, chemotherapy. I've elected to not go forward with chemotherapy. I'm more thinking along the lines of some trials, experimental treatments that you've maybe seen or heard about in other countries, say Canada, Europe, even Mexico, South America. For some reason, I have a strong belief that in the United States, Big Pharma has a strong hold on what's going on as far as treatments, trials. I believe that we need to work more towards healing and curing rather than just treating, and the billing of the insurance companies and Medicare and all of that, which makes a fortune for pharmaceutical industry in this country, the United States, where I live. That's disheartening, but I am very skeptical of a lot of things, which is good. I'm not a complete conspiracy theorist, but I am to a degree. I think that there's a lot that can be done better, and I'm pushing for that. I don't just take the first medication that someone gives me. I am open, and I will try just about anything. Once, maybe twice, but for the most part, I'm very skeptical of taking medications that can lock you in and get you hooked for life on them. And I feel like in some ways I've gotten myself into that predicament, and I'm working hard to not be there. I want to give a shout out to my friend Maureen, who came out to visit me this past week. She came out on the 10th of May and stayed through the 15th, and that was a lot of fun. She came with me to the coast, and we had a lot of hiking adventures and the like. But the rain just persisted most of the time she was here. We had a sunny day when she got in, and then a little bit of sun in Astoria on the coast, which was very nice. But for the most part, it just rained and rained, and I started getting into a lazy mode, eating out a lot, spending too much money that I did not have. I'm sure she was in the same boat. And then, it's kind of anticlimactic when someone that you enjoy spending time with leaves, and here you are back to the beginning, not doing the 5 a.m. Regiment that you probably definitely should have stayed with the whole way. I slipped to a 6 a.m. and before you know it, I'm getting up when it's time to take my anti-seizure medications at 7:30 a.m. and rolling out past 8, and I'm sitting here right now, and it's 8:31 a.m. as I record this. I had to forego an opportunity. I'm foregoing an opportunity this weekend to go out to do a retreat with the Quest Center for Integrative Health. They've been a wonderful asset for me in kind of doing some soul searching, looking within myself, and also obtaining some essential resources such as acupuncture work and psychodrama work, and I really can't thank the people over there at Quest Center enough. They've been wonderful, and this is in Portland, Oregon. Anyhow, I also would love to thank my mother, Jean. She's been an inspiration to me. She's given me so much encouragement and hope and support, unlike anyone else in my life, and I don't know where I'd be without her. I know I would be surviving, and I know I would be pushing forward, but I can't say that I would be thriving in the same sense that I am now. So Mom, if you're watching this, thank you for your love and support. I know being a parent goes beyond just raising a child and then pushing them out the door when they're 18 years old. Yeah, that happened one time, but it's great that we've come back together as adults and that we're more than just mom and son. We're friends, and I really appreciate that so much. Anyhow, if you have any issues that you'd like to discuss, I can help you. I have an oligodendroglioma brain tumor in my left frontal lobe. I had a biopsy back in 2013 in September. Then I was immediately placed on anti-epileptic drugs, many of which also serve as bipolar drugs. Big Pharma really doesn't seem to have a full grasp on what some of these drugs do. They're just ready to prescribe them and let the insurance companies and Medicare pick up the bill. It's a huge money-making business, and I know now that without these medications, I might be dead, or I might be in a perpetual state of epilepsy that could permanently brain damage me. I don't know. These are just the fears that are put down upon me from the medical institutions that are completely sold on Big Pharma. But I'll try to steer away from my conspiracy theories or whatnot and talk about the things that are workable and things that I can change at this time. Life's good. Even though it's been a real struggle lately, getting out of bed in the morning, feeling like crap, seizing, having friends that are struggling too. I have a friend, Jay, who's been going through some issues, and I worry about him left and right. And it's hard to help other people when you're struggling, but that's part of life. Everyone has friends that are in need, and everyone is in need. And just got to be grateful for all the things that you have. I think I should probably list off a handful of things or more that I'm grateful for right now. One is the spring, even though it's been rainy and a little bit concerning with all of this rain and chilly, chilly 50 degrees weather that we're having. It's some beautiful flowers, as I mentioned. It's the greatest time of year. Summer's going to come in, and before you know, we're going to have some hot dog days of summer. We haven't reached the longest day of the year on the solstice around my birthday is June 23rd, so it's always nice having the longest day of the year right around my birthday, and it's a great time to go on adventures. I'm hoping I can get more adventures. That's the plan. Maybe get back east to see some friends and family. Haven't seen my dad in a while, about a year when he came out here, but I haven't been back to Maine in almost 7 years, so that would be great. What else? I'm grateful for the abilities that I still have. I didn't think this far along that I would have the cognitive and physical abilities that I do have now, considering my oligodendroglioma. I'm grateful that the radiation treatment that I received, which I was hyper skeptical of, has seemed to have worked out to the degree as which it has. I'm grateful that I chose against chemotherapy. I'm grateful for all the people who have supported the National Brain Tumor Society and have given on behalf of Team Brewpublic and myself. All the money that's been given to that cause through me or just directly donated all goes through the NBTS, which is a 501c3 dedicated to education, treatment, and ultimately a cure through these new experimental trials. Read about ultrasound treatment, read about immunotherapies. I think there's some great possibilities out there. I've been having some gastrointestinal issues, and I went to go see a couple of different gastroenterologists recently. I think a lot of that has to do with the high dosage of medications that I've been taking that have affected my liver and perhaps my other guts, my kidneys. I think that that's really stirred the pot in here, my stomach. So my stomach hasn't been quite right, but I also, before my diagnosis of my brain tumor back in 2013, probably like 2, maybe 3 years prior to that, I got a umbilical hernia, which means your stomach or your belly button was sewn up as a baby. It's starting to protrude slightly, so it went from having like a little bit of an outie to pushing itself out further, and now I have like a quarter-sized belly button. I'm happy to announce that on June 7th, I'm going to be receiving reparative surgery for that, which Dr. Orenstein from Oregon Health and Sciences University is going to cut me, tuck me, stuff me, and stitch me back up. So I'm really happy about that. One thing that I've been reading a lot lately, and I completely agree, is that the gut is known as the second brain. A healthy stomach helps adhere a healthy mind. And so the body works as a whole unit. It's like a car. If you don't have wheels on your car, or if you have a leaky gas tank, it's kind of hard for the engine to do its job, the engine being the main brain. So eating well, living well, thinking well, having mindful practice, whatever that is for you. It might be yoga, it might be sitting, relaxing, closing your eyes, thinking about something, going on a walk, going down to a beautiful lakeside brook. It could be going to church and praying. It could be just finding your center. I think that's one of the important parts of finding happiness and health, which all go hand in hand. But anyways, with this left frontal lobe and parietal mostly lobe tumor, which I have, which at this point is inoperable because it's this big, size a couple golf balls, maybe 2.5 golf balls. It was reduced, some of the swelling, due to the radiation treatment, which had its own side effects. So I would be very careful going into any procedure. Weigh the goods and bads and see where that will leave you. Anyways, that tumor has caused a lot of paralysis and epilepsy on my right side, and I feel the onset of that, the prodromal, or some people like to refer to that sort of as the aura of going through that. That has come sooner due to the medications that I'm taking, and this can really get you down and out for a while. I know when I was getting up at 5 a.m., having a consistent sleep pattern and having a healthy diet, keeping a low carb diet, not completely gluten free necessarily, but a low carb diet has worked well for me. lots of vegetables, some fruit. You got to be careful with your diet. You can't push yourself too hard. Your body needs structure, it needs balance. That's my opinion. Again, I'm not a professional, but my my experience as my own guinea pig, if you will, has led me to this point of getting an understanding. But again, everybody's body's different, and your mind really can heal your brain in many aspects. Positive attitude. I hope that you are maintaining one. Um, I'm struggling right now. I'm not going to lie. I can't throw you a load that I am struggling, but I still keep in the back of my mind a willingness, a persistence, of this want to continue on and to be happy and healthy, and try to put out of my mind other people's achievements in comparison to my own, because I am achieving and succeeding in my own ways that are for me and no one else. It's great to acknowledge other people and the great things that they do for themselves, but it's about what you are capable of doing within the scope of your own life. And believe me, you can do a lot more than you think you can, but it's finding that balance of not overdoing it, but also not being complacent to a degree to where you're just going to do the bare minimum. Because as you get older, things aren't as easy as they used to be, so you have to work a little bit harder. And especially if you throw some type of debilitating health issue, or it could be a brain tumor, it could be anything, you have to work harder. And working harder can mean working smarter. And I'm going to finish up now with all the cliches that you've probably heard. But if you have any specific questions about my seizure, about oligodendrogliomas, or anything that I might be able to offer my 2 cents on, again, feel free to give me a shout. A lot of what I've said has been kind of repetitive, but hopefully some of these nuggets stick, and hopefully just me saying them will inspire myself to try harder and work harder. Because life's beautiful. I have a lot of beautiful memories. I don't want to live in the past. There's a saying, if you have 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future, then you're peeing on the present. So really be mindful of the present that you're in and enjoy it. Be grateful for all the people that are still in your life. People come and people go. But you always have yourself, and there will always be people in your life that have always loved you for you and will always care for you, even if that capacity of those concerns changes. All right, this is Angelo, and I want to thank you for listening to me prattle on and put in my 2 cents. And again, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. It makes me feel good. It boosts my ego, and it also makes me feel, it warms the cockles of my heart to know that there's other people out there. And if you're out there, don't be shy. Drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you. All right. Have a great day. Peace.